everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing an updated 2021 fall autumn perfumes video. These are my top 10 recommendations for perfumes to wear this fall. If you're new here, then hello and welcome. We're all about perfumes, so check out my hundreds and hundreds of other videos. I know that not everyone is going through fall and autumn at the moment, so I do have videos on spring and summer for you southern hemisphere folks. If you are a regular here, then do subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and you can support me by signing up to my newsletter in the description box, and support me as a channel member to get extra stickers down below on your name. And as always, I'll leave the links to where you can buy these down below in the description box, all the perfumes I talk about in UK, Europe, North America. Cool. So for me, autumn, fall, it is a bit of a weird time because especially at the beginning it's still kind of warm. It's not that cold, and it's certainly in London it's not like snowy, it's not freezing, so you do still want something that's not super Christmassy, super heavy, but it's not summer anymore, so you don't want to have a sort of summer vacay tropical vibe because then it's just going to make you sad because you're not on holiday, you're in the fall. So one that I would normally turn to at this time of year is Miss Dior, the Eau de Parfum. Now, the reason why I wanted to mention this first is you may have seen my video on the brand new Miss Dior Eau de Parfum that has just been launched, which looks like this. It has a ribbon bow rather than the metal bow. This is the previous version, and they have totally changed the smell. I'll leave my video link down below so you can watch that if you haven't seen it. But basically they've totally changed it, so I would definitely not recommend the new version for autumn or winter. It's super light, spring-like. But the original version, I wanted to mention it because there are some websites that still have stock of this, so I'm going to leave them in the link down below so you can still get this before it disappears forever. But for me, this is a beautiful autumnal rosy patchouli perfume. It's classy, it's pretty. I prefer the bottle with the metal bow, to be honest. So if you were a fan of Miss Dior Eau de Parfum, this version that came out 2017 I think, then time to get it before it disappears forever. It's classy, it's pretty, it's not crazily good for lasting, but it is a classy scent, and it's, you know, gonna be pretty rare now, going to be pretty hard to get, so I would recommend getting it before it disappears. So my second recommendation for fall is the new Valentino Bolshevik Intensa. So this is a flanker, a new version of the original Bolshevik, and it's an intense eau de parfum, and I much prefer it to the original. It literally came out the other week. And for me, this is the perfect autumn scent because it's not wintry, but it's not spring summery. It's got a feminineness to it, which gives it more like a floral spring-like feel, but it also has some warm heavy notes underneath, which mix together to make this just that perfect middle season scent. So those floral notes are white floral, it's jasmine and orange blossom, and there's a really warm orange in here which is really pretty. But then underneath you have a mossy vanilla, but this isn't sweet. It doesn't smell like vanilla to me. It smells like the jasmine and the orange blossom, but with a sort of mysterious undertone, which helps it last, helps it has projection, and for me is definitely an improvement on the previous version, which was like a floral vanilla, but this has just got a bit more character, a bit more strength to it, a bit more body, has this darker coloured lid, so I definitely prefer this. So this will be my go-to throughout the autumn time, I think. The next one I wanted to mention is from Lancome, and it's their La Vie Belle en Rose. So this for me is a bit of a dupe of Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming. It's a fruity floral, okay? Who doesn't love a fruity floral? But it has the power of La Vie Belle behind it. If you're not familiar with La Vie Belle, this range from Lancome is a really like top 5 bestseller. It's really good for lasting, and this version that they made doesn't have the sweetness of the original La Vie Belle. Instead, it's this really fresh, rosy raspberry scent. You've got raspberry, you've got red berries, and then all these really fresh roses in the heart, and fresh peony as well, and then some patchouli in the bottom. So very similar notes to Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming, but like half the price. It is an eau de toilette, but for me this performs as good as many brands eau de parfums. It's not as heavy as original La Vie est Belle eau de parfum. Lancome eau de toilettes tend to perform as good as many brands eau de parfum, so I won't worry about that too much. You are going to want to top it up, you know, throughout the day, but I do think this is good for summer, because good for the autumn fall time, because you've got that warmth of the rose but you've still got that fresh fruitiness as well, so it's a good sort of daytime autumn scent. A new one which came out this year is the new Kate Spade perfume. It's simply just called Kate Spade, so they seem to have discontinued all her other perfumes. So this is a wild strawberry fragrance. So normally a strawberry fragrance I would feel is very summery, but wild strawberry is a different fragrance note. It has a warmer, greener, stronger vibe to it, and with the cashmere which is in here and a bit of freesia, for me this is a very warm strawberry. So it's not heavy enough or warm enough to be worn in the winter, but it could work, I think, definitely for fall, autumn, especially if you live in a climate where it's not too cold this time of year. Like for example, now in London it's the end of September but it's still 20 degrees. So when you first smell it, you basically get some citrus notes and you think, oh, it's going to be really lame, it's going to be really light. But it really comes out with this strawberry. If you love strawberries, you must try this. And it just is like a warm, cozy hug. It's super girly. It's quite innocent, but it makes me smile. It's one of those fragrances that makes me smile. And I even like the bottle. I think it's pretty. It's very like thick glass, thick lid. It feels quality. And it's just not everywhere, you know, it's not super popular. It's something a bit different. So check this out if you're looking for something that not everyone has and you love strawberries. So another one that you probably wouldn't expect for the fall is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Forever, the 2021 limited edition version of Light Blue. Every year they have a different version out. I have a video on it, I'll leave it linked down below. So when this first came out, you know, you associate light blue with summertime because a light blue original is so light and zesty, citrusy. This new one though, Light Blue Forever, I think is probably my favourite one they've released, because it isn't like the original. Sure, it has those citrusy notes in, but it has orange blossom, white florals, it has cashmere in the base, so it's much more powerful and interesting and different and feminine and stronger than the original. It's also an eau de parfum. So usually they're eau de toilettes from Light Blue. They got the message, this one's an eau de parfum. I would say this is during the day of autumn, not really evening. It's still quite fresh, still dominated by a lemon, but there's also a blood orange in here which I love. But it's the orange blossom which for me is a great autumnal scent, because it's not wintry, but you know, it's still quite strong and feminine, and I'm just loving this one. I think this is what Light Blue original should have smelled like when they first released it. It's just fresh and zingy, but with something behind it, some power. So definitely check this out. This will disappear after a year or so. They do release them as limited editions, but I think if you're looking for something citrusy for the daytime but for autumn, does that make sense, then I do recommend this one. So my next recommendation would be Hugo Boss Alive Eau de Parfum. This came out maybe about a year or two ago, and it's a plum perfume. So plums I definitely associate with the autumn. It's kind of when they grow. We might eat them here in the UK, like plum crumble. And then it has a bit of vanilla in. It even has some cinnamon in, but it's not a heavy cinnamon. It's not like a winter cinnamon. And it's also quite woody, but it comes across as fruity plum first, and then a bit of a woodiness underneath. So for me, that's what I want in the autumn, especially when it gets a bit colder. You want that autumnal fruit, that plum, and then the woodiness underneath. It's pretty reasonably priced as well, and it would definitely be good for perhaps the office, or any sort of serious situation. You know, Hugo Boss tend to make quite reliably serious perfumes. It's not too girly or anything. It's like sophisticated smell, and it's also quite neutral. The packaging, if you're looking for a gift, I'd say it'd be pretty hard to dislike this because it's just very neutral packaging and branding. So for the evening time, I do like the brand new release from Lancome, their Idole Aura. This is different to the previous Idole versions that they've had. Aura is a vanilla scent, a salty vanilla with a jasmine heart. So it's super feminine, but the vanilla is like 50%, jasmine's the other 50%. It's very clean and it's quite a sexy scent, I'd say. I think you could definitely wear this in the evening times, in the autumn, in the fall, to have that vanilla warmth. I feel like in the summertime this might be too heavy, too much. It might feel a bit sickly, but as it starts getting a bit cooler, then this becomes appropriate to wear. It's just feminine, but with a twist of sexy vanilla. I think this will be really popular with young people. It'd be great for, you know, date night, going out on a Friday night, that type of scent. I do think it's a very good perfume. It really hits that spot, and of course it's like a rose gold as well, so it's pretty. And they have changed the base so that it does now stand up by itself. So if you like vanilla, check this out. So for something very affordable for the autumn, I would check out Ramazelle Couture. This is a bit of a niche one, not sold everywhere. It is widely available online. Like I said, I'll leave the links in the description. This is actually a tonka bean perfume, which is a perfect ingredient for the fall. It's very warm, cozy ingredient. Then you have orange blossom, a little bit of heliotrope. So it's more like an autumnal floral fragrance with this really warm tonka bean, which is kind of like, tonka bean's like if you took vanilla but took out the sweetness, if that makes sense. Has a slight muskiness to it, but you can usually get this for really good price online, maybe 20 something pounds, and it is very good for lasting as well. It's good projection, good longevity, it's good value for money. It's an eau de parfum, so I think if you're looking for something value for money, perhaps just to wear for a few months over the autumn, you don't want to spend loads, then do check this out. And I do think the bottle's cool as well, but it's one of those where probably none of your friends will have it, so it's definitely unique. Next on my list, I do think original Black Opium or Black Opium Extreme, or any of the Black Opiums really, would be fine for the autumn. My top pick is actually Black Opium Floral Shock, which has been discontinued, you guys. So again, this is an orange blossom perfume, but it has a really sparkling solar note in, which I love, as well as a warm, fresh pear. I think pear is a perfect autumn scent. You know, they come up, you eat them in the autumn. And then you have that signature white floral and coffee base of the original Opium, but the main note really is a really sparkling, warm orange blossom and the pear. I love pear and perfume, so I'm so sad this is discontinued. So do get this before it goes forever. If you like pear, if you like orange blossom, I will find it online and leave it in the links before it disappears forever. It's great for lasting, as Black Opium tends to be. It's feminine, it's sparkling. You could wear it during the day, you could wear it in the evening. I think it's a great option for autumn, so I'm gutted that they're discontinuing it. So finally, I have to mention my favourite, Jimmy Choo. Autumn, fall is definitely the perfect time for Jimmy Choo. It's pear. Pear is an autumnal scent to me, and then it has a bit of a toffee underneath, and plenty of patchouli. So if you've not smelled this, I think most subscribers of my channel have now smelled this because I never stop going on about it. But if you haven't, you're really missing out. And what's wonderful about Jimmy Choo is you can usually get it on offer at a really good price. It's not an expensive perfume. The original Jimmy Choo Eau de Parfum is the perfect pear patchouli fragrance. I love it. And I love it. You guys must be sick of me talking about it, so I'll stop. So guys, let me know what you'll be wearing over the autumn fall. What would be on your top 10 list for fall? Let me know in the comments down below. And like I said, I'll leave in the description box where you can buy all these as well. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.